Hello again, my dear sinners. It's been a hot minute, I know, and I want to relay my apologies for that. I've not been myself for the last couple of weeks, wait, month now. Sometimes for okay reasons, other times just because, honestly, I've just not been me, Especially recently, I've really not felt like myself anymore in a weird way. Like recently, like as of last week, I've been in a better place. This week I've been at least, you know, more more myself. I think, but sorry, it might be a bit too loud. Let me turn it down just a smidge in the audio, so it isn't too loud. But and I've just not really been where I wanted to be. The best way to put it. So, honestly, I've been in this strange, this strange kind of position where I've just been in this rut, this really kind of unpleasant feeling where every kind of worry I could have had has been had, you know? I've, just if something could have been worried about, it was worried about. You know, anything from something as stupid as like is someone doing something behind my back. It sounds ridiculous when I say it aloud, honestly, because no, that wasn't the case at all, and I was overreacting. Things were just normalizing in some ways. I'm being kind of vague, so I don't want to, like... I guess I'm worried just talking about it will kind of make someone feel uncomfortable, or, like I'm upset with them, so I'm not. I'm not upset with anyone, but it's been hard to talk about this because how do you say to someone, "Hey, are we okay? I've been kind of worried about where we're at," or like, um, you know, "Are we good?" Or just little bits, where I've just not felt great, or something's just got me alert when it didn't need to. So, I guess all that played on me to the point where it's like as if work hadn't already took a toll on me, and it has. That will hopefully get better. Because they have finally realized that pushing people too far in a job that no one exactly likes is not a good idea when they're the people keeping things running, you know. A little tip for anyone who has to own a company: if you want IT people to work for you, you best make sure they're not being burned out, because if they are, I promise you, it's not great. Phone away. I've forgotten how often my phone likes to go off while I'm doing these recordings. Am I going to cut that out? No, honestly. And the only reason I'm not going to is because I kind of want this to just be a bit more raw, you know? These were meant to be quite simple videos. I got really obsessed with making them perfect or trimming audio. I don't really want to do that. That doesn't mean I'm going to release complete garbage, but I just think I want these to be a bit more just free-flowing. I don't want to spend loads of time on them, because as much as part of me was like, oh, these are low effort, they are low effort. They were always meant to be. You know, when I feel like doing something a bit bigger, a bit more interesting, that's when I'll put the effort in. That's when I'll take my time. Um, and I just kind of feel like I've already got a lot of things I'm taking my time on as is. I've recently gotten into doing art, and at the end of the day, I've just been really, really stressed. think is the honest answer. I've just been extremely stressed. And to be totally honest, I realized very quickly that I just was not a good place. I realize I'm going around in circles, I'm sorry. I've just not been in a place to do these for so long, and I feel like I'm out of practice again. Yeah, it's I think it's a bit of a skill to do a concise video, especially without a script to kind of guide you. Why is he constant? Sorry, I'm going to try not to comment on the game too much, because it'll just be me complaining about people being stupid stuff like that. Honestly, it's been a rough few weeks for me, and I've been hesitant to talk about this because I don't want people thinking I'm not okay. You know, I don't. I always kind of. I don't want people to come to me and then become depressed. You know what I mean? I don't want people to feel sad constantly about my woes, because at the end of the day, that's not what I really want. You know, I want to create a place where people feel comfy and happy and all the rest. And to be totally honest, it's just been one of them things where I guess I've just bottled it, you know what I mean? I bottled it and bottled it and bottled it, and I didn't talk to the people I should have talked to. I didn't do all the things I should have done. And it wasn't till this Monday, where I really sat down and told myself, all those things you're thinking right now are complete horseshit. That sounds like, you know, it sounds really easy, right? It sounds like, oh, of course, you know, you're thinking things that aren't real. You know, you're worrying about things that are imagined. But, honestly, you would be amazed how often just it came up. You'd be amazed how often it came up. Where I would just be in a continuous loop thinking about the worst case scenarios. Have I, you know, lost touch with X person? Does Y person now hate me? Does Z person want nothing to do with me anymore and wants to be around anyone but me, kind of thing, you know, or just stupid shit like that. It's just not helpful. And honestly, it was just a massive stink of my will to live. And just my general, just emotional capacity. And honestly, it just took it out of me. And like, I originally aimed to make a bit of a break and maybe change up my content, right? I did. When it comes to this stuff, I did think about just changing entirely. Different kind of content, different kind of everything. It didn't work out that way, obviously, because here we are. I tried a few things, right? I really did. I tried various bits. To be honest with you, to be really earnest, I just could not. And you know, I think one thing I've really kind of come to appreciate, I think, is just I've had to learn, and this partly comes back to me trying to learn to draw and do art. I've had to kind of learn to accept the shortcomings a bit. I've had to kind of learn to just go, you know what? That isn't important. We don't need to worry about that. No one's expecting you to suddenly be amazing at this, or, you know what, that thing you're worrying about, it's probably not anywhere near what you think it is. And even if it is, well, if that is the case, that would be very bad for that person, so it's probably not the case at all. You know what I mean? Like, Occam's razoring that shit. But God knows I've occasionally worried, because I've tried for a long time to find a place where I'm at least wanted or valued, right? Or feel like I'm part of a group. Or at least I don't feel like an outcast, you know? I don't feel like I'm someone who no one wants to be around, and honestly, I still sometimes feel that way. I do. I sometimes feel that way, occasionally, where I just feel like, am I just other, you know? I'm not really part of the group, per se. That makes sense. And I feel like a lot of the time, I'm probably just imagining the problem. Honestly, I feel like it's been a case where those feelings have come from internal. And to be totally honest, I do need to work on that a bit. So apologies again for the phone going off. I think in future I'm gonna have to just put like a mute on it or something. I thought I already had, but evidently not. So I'll put Do Not Disturb on it or something, just so it doesn't beep at me randomly. Because as much as I don't want to take too much of these, at the same time, I still want to make it worth your time. So, I guess this was kind of inspired by watching Ricky actually start doing these a bit. And he just started, like, he would play, like, Call of Duty Zombies, and it's a recent thing he started doing, you know? Oh, shit. And honestly, it's been an interesting thing to watch, you know, this someone who definitely can go all out on his edits and do a lot more stuff if he wanted, but who decided, you know what, this is a calm video, where I just talk. And you know what, it's made me kind of realise I don't need to try and be insanely good at editing. That can come in time, that can come with practice if I need to. To be honest, I don't think the content I produce needs insane editing. I don't think it needs this, like, really high production, because I don't make the kind of videos that need high production, I think, honestly. And I think, if anything, and maybe it's just me, but YouTube, part of the charm is in that kind of not needing an insanely high production value for things. Excuse me. And, you know, don't get me wrong, I've had some channel ideas. I wanted to do some things with the bean, actually. I kind of wanted to kind of have a more shitposty, kind of funny, haha kind of videos, you know? And maybe I might still do that. I might be entertaining. I like, you know, Seth Zintash, Max, or Reggie, those kind of people. I forget his name, but he's got like a fox as his avatar. He played Factorio, and then didn't for a while, like 2 years. Then all of a sudden he finished it. I forget his name, but honestly, love their videos. I think they're really fun. And honestly, seeing them kind of gave me some ideas. So, never say never. Never say never, but you know, honestly, oh shit. But honestly, it's just, oh for fuck's sake, cover me at least. Sorry, I'm trying to like multitask. This is why I normally pre-record the stuff and then do the voiceover. But words, yeah. Because I'm fucking bad at recording all of a sudden. See, I'm not gonna say I'm always the best at holding like a consistent conversation stream sometimes, but I'm not gonna sit there and constantly shit on myself. That's how I got in this mess. You know what I mean? But you know, look, I've the short, long and short of it is, I have been, oh shit, not the most happiest bean. You know, I've been a very off-kilter bean, very much, not doing my best. At this point, he deserves it. And honestly, I've definitely had to kind of come to terms with some things, you know? I've had to really look myself in the mirror and just... Oh, shit. Oh, you fuck. Well, guess I kind of deserve that now. Where are you idiots going? Oh, so even after all that, it's just better. So, I mean, this is why I probably should pre-record, because I'm not always good at separating what's happening in game versus me talking. It is a skill I need to get better at doing, honestly. I realise I talk about what I'm doing in game quite a lot, and that's an early crutch, but I really need to get out of doing it. I think the problem is I lean on that crutch so heavily that now it's kind of like, it's hard to get over that kind of... need to use that. How are we going? But, you know, it's something I need to get better at doing. I can't entirely say what started this whole cycle, but it definitely feels like part of it was just out of I guess a worry, right? A deep ingrained worry that just swelled and swelled until it became something truly awful. And after a certain point, it just didn't stop. It didn't stop, and I let it get out of control. And I think, to be honest, I may need to speak to a therapist again. I think at some point. I do wonder. There's a good chance I might need to, and I don't think that's a failure. I think it's important to know if anyone who feels like they have to do that as well, that's not a failing. That's not, you know, a weakness. You're not weak for wanting to seek help. I think that's... I think it's important to understand, hey, if you're not doing so hard, get help. I think it's better, if anything, if you are reaching out for help. Because I think it's the first step is to acknowledge you need help. And after that, getting it. Because not everyone has the stones to do that. And honestly, I think if you're getting yourself help, if you're helping yourself or you're reaching out to someone to professionally help you because you know you're going to need it, good. Do that. And honestly, like, no one's shame you for that. Like, absolutely no one shame you for that. Because I think that it's a pretty good thing to do. As someone who's done it many times. As someone who's done it many, many, many times, I think it's okay to reach out for help. So, you know, don't let anyone stop you getting help. Don't let anyone stop you getting help. Because sometimes you just kind of need it. So, if I were you, and I was in a position where... Oh, I mean, I have been in a position just this last couple of weeks. Last week, I think, is when it got really bad. But, I'll be candid about this. I had a panic attack on Tuesday last week, and I was hesitant to even bring this up because I didn't want... What I didn't want was people thinking it was their fault or they were involved. No. No. I want to be very clear to those people who may be listening to this thinking that them. Stop it. Stop it. Genuinely stop it, because not only is that not the case, but was one of the things causing me to panic in the first place. Because I didn't want people thinking like that, because it was not because something they did. Now, what it was I had a horrific work day. Horrific, by all accounts. Horrific. The worst I've had in 6 years. And it just got too much for me. And the thing that kind of, was the final straw was honestly just my own confusion and annoyance at myself. That's the honest thing. And I think I have to explain to people, it's hard for me to get into this kind of stuff because, honestly, I don't know how to explain to someone that, hey, I got so confused and frustrated, it kind of just broke something in me. I think it's really hard for me to explain this stuff because, honestly, where do I even start? Where the hell do I even start with that? Right? Like, where do I even start talking about something like that? So, legitimately, it took something out of me. And it kept that thing out of me for ages. And ever since then, I got it in my head that various people hated me, or all of a sudden... Why did you hit that? All of a sudden just kind of felt like I wasn't who they thought I was and lost some respect for me or something. Look, does any of this make any sense? No. No, and I honestly think I was assuming the worst because I've been used to being around those kind of people, right? I've been around the kind of people in my life before now where they would do that. They would think like that. They would treat me like that. I've been around those kinds of people. And so my head immediately went to the absolute, okay, yeah, this is what's going on. When it couldn't have been further from the truth. And I had no point any proof of that. Is there a chance that could be the case? Maybe, but I haven't really spoke to people about it because... at the end of the day, I didn't know if that was the case, and honestly, I'm probably never going to find out. And honestly, I think that might be okay. But honestly, sorry, it was tense there for a second. I think, in honest truth, it ain't as bad as I thought it was, and I think I just needed to be realistic with myself. Be realistic with, like, just everything that happened, right? At the end of the day, what had happened, quite simply, is something inside of me broke. It broke. And I had to really contend with the fact that that happened. The first time in a long time. And I think, honestly, the fact I can talk about it now makes me feel a little bit better. It makes me feel a little bit more me again, I guess. But if I could be perfectly honest, for that week in particular, I was almost catatonic in a way. I was almost lost. But I want to make it very clear, I'm feeling better now. I'm feeling a lot more myself again. And honestly, I think that I finally hit a point of peace. For now, at least. So, yeah. Hopefully, you enjoyed my ramble, or maybe this explained why I was away for a while. I would like to apologize again, those of you who watch this channel, and have probably thought that I'd abandoned you. I have not. I have not, I promise you. I've just not been the most diligent bean when it comes to actually doing these. I'm not saying they're going to be as consistent as they were before, but I'm going to damn well try a bit, okay? I'm going to try. I'm going to sit down on an evening, play a game, and just talk, right? I think that's honestly the easiest way to do things. Is it perfect? No. No. But, you know, I think this will be a nice little thing for me, and maybe you'll have a good time of it too. Whatever I do in the background, it might be Dark Tide, it might be drawing, maybe, if I feel comfortable, painting, potentially, though I might do that live. We'll see. I was going to do the green stuff for the Knight's Lance, sort of wrap around my Knight's Lance, but maybe I'll do that another time. Who knows? It depends how I feel. We'll see how this video is. I might have to adjust some little bits here and there. Let's see. Anyway, my dear sinners, thank you for joining me. I hope you did have a good time, although I understand if you didn't. This was me basically saying, hi guys, I've been kind of really depressed, so I appreciate that's not the thing you want to hear from your streamer, VTuber, whatever, so, but I'm doing okay now, and I think that's the important thing. I'm doing okay, and this has been my way of comfortably talking about what happened to me, and why I've been so distant, and what's been bothering me, in a way that I hope doesn't feel targeted or pointing at anyone. That's not what I want. I guess I was worried people would think differently of me if I just said what I wanted to say. And I've not said everything I wanted to say entirely, because some of that needs said privately. But I'll be okay. That's the important thing I want to take away from it. I will be okay. I guess I just feel sore, you know? I feel a little taken aback by it all. So it's taken out of me more than I thought it was gonna. But yeah. Well, it's all up from here. Right? We're out of the cold soon, hopefully. Not the rain though. The rain is forever. Because the rainiest place ever. But anyway, thank you for joining me. I will see you all in a bit. Until then, please take care of yourselves. Have a good day, good night, whatever time it is for you. Until then, my dearest sinners. Good night for now. See you soon.